to the idea for that night is what I try to do for all of our shelters. And so when you get there, I can speak for Code Purple Sussex County. We have a little space that's kind of set off to the side as private as possible. I'm sure Kent County does the same thing, just to kind of move you away so not everybody hears all your business. And so that'll be designated ahead of time. And so, I always like to start off. I mean, obviously, I know most of the guys in there and it's easier. But if you're a complete stranger and you come up and, don't start out with, just going into the questions. I would say, very casually, hey, my name's so-and-so. How was your day today? I don't really like to say, how are you doing? Because we know they're probably not doing very well, right? They're in a shelter. So I always, how was your day today? It's a little more specific. And then it kind of engages that, oh, I'm sorry you had a bad day today. I really hope tomorrow's better. Or, oh man, that was a great day. I'm glad you accomplished this. So it's just that, because you have very little time to actually, engage and get to know this complete stranger. So I just find that that's a little helpful to just kind of connect on that day. Not their whole life, not how things have been going. Like I said, things have probably been going not that well. I mean, I learned that a long time ago. Hey, how's it going? And somebody said, well, I'm in a shelter. How do you think it's going? So I don't really say that anymore. But when you go to the survey, just make sure you write down, all the survey or your name, where you're at. And then you definitely need to read the top portion, the informed consent statement. So they do give consent. If they don't, then you're just going to kind of observe from a distance. Maybe you can see their age group. You won't be able to see much, but you can fill out some of it based on your observation from a distance. And then Code Purple has the advantage because we know the guys, we can kind of help facilitate that connection. So, and even if they don't want to fill it out, we have a lot of information that we could at least kind of give some general information. They don't like to give out social security number a lot. So, I always start with, we're going to do this point time count, read the informed consent. If they say yes, then, I'm upfront. There's some odd questions. If there's anything you don't want to answer, you don't have to. I promise you this will be kept private. No one else is going to know this information about you. This is just so we can count. And I actually tell them, if we have good records, good numbers, or, data, if we have good data, then we can, hopefully get more resources to help people experiencing homelessness in Delaware. I think they need to know why they're doing this survey. What's the point of this? So if you, explain to them, this is why we're doing this. You're going to ask for all these things. If they refuse, that's fine. If you can just get the last 4 digits of their social, that's fine. They don't want to give you exact anything. They've really actually made this very easy and, different options for you. Race, if they want to tell you, gender, active guard. I can't scroll down. Can I? Okay. So, and then you're kind of going to get into a little more, personal questions. Is this your first time being homeless? That's a really hard, just tell them if they don't know exactly, just guess. It's very hard for people to remember exact month and years that they became homeless. So just tell them to give your best guess. What's your best guess? Maybe they can connect it to something happening that year that they can kind of remember how long ago it was. The same thing for, where were you before this? If somebody's been experiencing homelessness for a long time, then it all becomes kind of together, and it's really hard for them to separate it. So, you know, you can, like I said, maybe if they can connect it to something in their life, like we kind of do. Oh, well, I had this kid, but not this kid, so it was around this time. There's those kind of things. And then health and well-being, you really get into a little personal. And again, reassuring them this is not public knowledge. No one else is going to see this. We're going to turn it in. You know, I'm not showing anybody else at the shelter. I'm not telling anybody else. You have my strictest confidence right now. You don't have to answer anything you don't want to answer or feel uncomfortable answering. You know, just let them know it's you're not pressuring them into anything. This is just something that we do in order to have more data to help people experiencing homelessness in Delaware. So if we do not at this point have anybody youth, we don't have, well, I guess we do have some 18 to 24, but not many, honestly. So so you'll fill out the youth part. We don't have any children right now, so we wouldn't
Nikki,
really.
would there be any shelters that take women and children?
Yes, we just don't. I mean, I guess it's possible, but we don't have very many children at all, ever.
Okay, so in the event that there are women and children, this would be when you would fill out the portion. If there's a mother with children, you would fill out this portion for the children.
Okay. Yeah, and we like I said, we have a couple 18 to 24, but not many. But we'll, you know, you'll know that once you ask their age. And then, so for a household, they also want not just, you know, your direct husband or wife or anything like that, but if you have a significant other in the other shelter. So we don't house men and women together. So there might be, you know, a non-married partner. And so this is where you would put them in. I guess you could ask that. We would maybe give you a heads up at Co-Purple, like they have a boyfriend, girlfriend, or significant other at another shelter. And so they want to link those so they're considered a household. And if there's any children, that's when you would fill out this part too. So like I said, sometimes there'll be one partner in one shelter and another partner in another shelter, but they still want to connect them on this sheet together. So because that makes up a household.
Yes.
So what other questions do you guys have? I mean, it's fairly self-explanatory. I feel like the survey is fairly self-explanatory. Do you guys have any questions? And if you're observing, it's fairly simple, just kind of, you know, is there a separate observation survey now, or is it okay?
Nope. So we use the same survey. You would just use this demographic information like here to fill out what you can observe. So age range, race. You may not be able to get ethnicity, but maybe gender.
Right.
That's a good question, Nikki, because I was going to ask that question, because you said if the person, you know, chooses not to go forward with disclosing, you know, the name and anything, you just kind of do the observation and you use the demographic section. So after the demographic information, there's really nothing you can fill out after that.
No.
That's right.
That's a good question.
I know we used to have an old tool that kind of said, it kind of asked for different observations, like if you thought they were inebriated or something, but I guess they don't do that anymore. So.
Notice, I don't know if this is necessary for this particular survey, but you know, like some individuals may be wanting assistance with treatment or mental health. I know it doesn't ask that on the survey, does it? Or did I miss it?
It asks if you have any disabling conditions, and mental health condition is an option.
Yeah, but I mean more so, are you looking to try to get some help with that?
Yeah, no, I think this is just really trying to get data for who we're helping, who's in our unsheltered and emergency shelter places. And like I said, I would just, that initial connection is key to, I find most of our guys and gals are really receptive to filling it out. They don't really care. They're open. Brandy's done it quite often. I don't think you have much pushback against doing it. So.
Yeah, I think since I've been down here in Kent County and I work with Code Purple down here, I have you develop that kind of relationship that you were talking about over that period of time. So then some of the other guys or girls even see you engaging with those guys or girls.
Yes.
And then they're usually a bit more comfortable with,
Yep.
taking time to talk with you as well.
Yep. And if anybody's agitated, like they said, even for the unsheltered, it's the same thing when you come in the shelter, just, step back, lay back. And I mean, I would even say that as far as my sites go, at all 6 sites, you will have volunteers there anyway, and they'll kind of loosen the ground for you as well. So you're not just stepping into like a tent area, without any announcements. So. Any questions? Anybody nervous? Anybody not done it before? I don't know who else on here.
This will be my first time.
Well, I promise you, if you think of everybody as potentially your brother, your sister, your aunt, your uncle, these are just plain old people just like us. They're just in a tough spot. I mean, every once in a while you might have some mental health that will present a little differently, but you just roll with it. And just people. We usually have absolutely no issues. So everybody's just very thankful to be in and warm and sheltered, and they really really appreciate all the help. So they know this is in one way helping them. So. Anything?
Well, if no other questions, you are free to go. Thank you all